Alright, so here I am opening. Now I'm just going to take my mats out of that plastic wrap. We don't need that anymore. Although, it does tell you a little bit of information on the back, but I'll just try to tell you what you need to know today. Okay, so it comes with two. Obviously, you only need one at a time, so let's get that one out of the way. What I'm going to do is, it has a plastic sheeting over the top of it. We're just going to peel that off. Okay, now I'll set that aside. It's very sticky. Well, hold on, now it's sticking my table. That's unusual. Usually it peels right up. Of course, I'd be on video and it didn't stick. But usually they're incredibly sticky. Sometimes you'll get a mat that's stickier than another mat, and it can kind of be difficult to get your paper off of it. My friend Cricut Dan told me to put my hands over it like this. If it's extremely sticky, I do that because it peels off some of the stickiness. Sometimes you'll get some that's so sticky you cannot get anything off of it. I mean, you could stick, like here are my Fisker things, you could stick this thing to it and not be able to peel it off. I mean, look at that. That's some stick. I mean, that's ridiculous. All right, anyway, but you might want to put your hands over it and remove some of the stickiness. I know that seems counterproductive since you want it to have your paper stick, but if it's extremely sticky and you can't even peel your paper off of it, do this, okay, to get some of the stickiness off. Now, let's go ahead and put some paper onto it. If you read your Cricut manual, you'll read that it tells you to align your paper here in the bottom left-hand corner. There are reasons to do that, but right now I'm just going to show you using the paper on the mat, and we're just going to line it up here in the top right-hand corner. I won't get into all the reasons for lining it up the bottom left, but there are reasons to do it. But honestly, you can put your paper anywhere on your mat and cut. Okay, you just move your blade to wherever you want it to go. So you can put all kinds of paper here and here. Let me grab another little sheet and I'll show you. If you want to load your mat up with a lot of different colors, so you could say cut out the part of a cloud here, and then over here you wanted to cut out a bird, and then, you know, a swing set. I guess I'm thinking spring. Then you can do that. You can lay all your paper out and cut it all out at one time. But what I'm going to do is just stick a piece of paper here and show you. It doesn't matter. You can put it there. You're just going to move your blade over to wherever you want to start cutting and cut there. Again, there are reasons to do this, and you can read your manual on how the different functions of your machine work and learn all about that. But don't feel like you can't put your paper wherever you want. You can. We are almost ready to cut. So what I'm going to do first is show you that we're going to use the Create a Critter cartridge because it's a simple one for layering, as I told you earlier, and we're going to go ahead and cut something out with that. But first we've got to put our blade assembly into the Cricut. So let me show you the difference between the two assemblies. This green one on the right is the regular blade assembly. Now, my red Expression did come with a red one, but it actually cracked, so I had a replacement sent to me, and it is this plastic green one. The original machines came with a metal one, but now they're mostly coming in plastic. This is the deep cut blade. You always see this one in blue, as of right now anyway. They're still in blue, and they're metal, you can tell, and they are slightly different than this blade. They're a little bit longer, and if you go to my website, I've got a link showing you the differences and similarities between these two. This one is used, the deep cut blade, is used for doing deeper cuts, obviously, but cutting things like chipboard and, you know, more difficult surfaces, not just paper. So I use this one a lot to cut cereal boxes instead of chipboard because I like using those. I think that's kind of cool. Well, let's go ahead and put this blade into our Cricut so we can use it. It's very simple to put the blade into the assembly, or to the carriage. This is actually called the blade assembly. The thing in it, of course, is the blade. To get the blade out, you push this little stopper thing down, little plunger down, and you can release the blade. You'll have to pull it out. Be careful. Harder to do with the camera in there in front of you, but there is the little blade, okay? And left a little pokey place in my finger, didn't it? Anyway, but I'm fine. So then you just stick it back in there like that. You're holding in the plunger, let it go, and your blade is in there. So that would be how you would replace the blade. When you get your blade, it comes like this with a little red stopper over it. Pull the stopper off because it won't work if you leave it on there. All right, so the little blade end is covered by the red. Now you can adjust your assembly and make your blade come out more by turning this part right here. So I already have it all the way out, but you can see it's coming out a bit more. Anyway, that's how that works. The little triangle here, it points to whatever you have it set to. So you're trying to line up with the triangle. 6 makes the blade come out the most, so that's the deepest cut that this one will make. 1 is the smallest cut, okay? So I like to run mine on 6, and that's what I'm going to put it on. You don't have to take it out to do this, but we're just going to do that way. And see, I'm doing this one-handed. I'll just put it in there, and now I'm screwing this in to hold the blade. Now the blade's in. We're all set. Just make sure it's tightened up real well, and you're good. Now we've got the Cricut cartridge here. I'm just going to stick it right in here. Let me move this over a bit so you can see. Okay, so you just snap it right in here, give it a good little push, and now it's in just fine. Before we get too much further ahead, I need to show you how the overlays work. They're pretty simple once you figure them out, but there is sort of a little pattern to the way that they go, or at least the way that they fit along with the booklet. What I like to do is label my booklet, and here, let me show you. I've got it right under here. You see I've got this saying R5 3, and we've got the little love bug there. Well, that corresponds to row 5, and this would be row 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and the 3 would be the third button, so 1, 2, 3. So R5 3, row 5, and over 3. And that's where the little love bug is. So that is how I label my cartridges. It really helps me find things quickly, so I like to do that. Every one of these has 10. All the white ones have 10 buttons, so there are 50 slots here that are your images or fonts or whatever you have on your cartridge. Over here are the different creative features that your cartridge has. And over here are just different, here's backspace, space, all these things, and load paper. Okay, so we'll be using this one a whole lot, and unload paper, and all kinds of different things. So let's get on using our cartridge. Now we've got our cartridge in, all we have to do is put the overlay on top. There's the Create a Critter overlay, and we'll press the power button. And then we'll see that the lights and everything are going to come on. It'll make some little beeping noises, and in the screen here is some writing telling us, you know, what kind of cartridge we have in there and all kinds of little things like that. Now it's saying we can slide our matter paper into the Cricut and press load paper to begin. Well, I've already got some paper put on here. I changed it up from what you saw previously, but we'll go ahead and put that in. Oops, let me move that blade out of the way. I forgot that was there. All right, and now all we need to do is press load paper, and then it just goes right in. Okay, I do hold it up just a tad on the end, just to hold it, you know, kind of firmly to help it go into the machine. So, but you don't need to push it or anything like that. All right, let's take a look at what we're going to do next.